Hey everybody, Andrew Hogue here, your security, privacy, and forensics expert with your weekly digest of mobile security and privacy news. Each digest will contain the past week of briefings so you can quickly catch up on all the important topics in mobile security and privacy. If you have any topics you'd like me to cover in the future, just drop me a comment below. I hope you find this weekly digest useful, and thanks so much for watching. On February 13th, Apple released iOS 16.3.1, an emergency update not just for iOS, but also impacting iPadOS, macOS, and Safari. Apple does a great job about posting all of the security update information on their website. And so if you go to the one about iOS 16.3.1, you can see that there's actually a couple of other flaws that were patched, including things that were updated later on February 20th, as well as the WebKit issue that we're talking about, and you can see that broadly impacts many different types of systems. This particular flaw is triggered by maliciously crafted web content, which basically means if an attacker controls a website and can get you to go there, they get arbitrary code execution and can do whatever they want on your device. The key here is that Apple has said that they're actively seeing this exploited. So anytime you see that in one of their updates, it's really important that you immediately update your operating system. If you're interested in seeing all of the different updates from Apple, you could just go to their security updates page, and you won't just see things about iOS, but you'll see each of the different operating system updates. Now, if you believe that you're specifically being targeted, and generally these are going to be from heads of state, journalists, activists, things of that sort, so it's not very common. But Apple does have a special mode called lockdown mode that you may consider, which is going to reduce a lot of the functionality of iOS, but provide a lot additional protection in case you're being targeted. Now, if you go out there and try to find additional information about the CVE, it's not yet posted. So these things could take weeks to months to hit the public information. And so we really have to just go off of what Apple has provided to date. And lastly, if you try to go all the way into the WebKit flaw, you're also not going to be able to get access to that. So basically right now, you want to go out there and update, and hopefully we'll learn more details soon. On Valentine's Day 2023, Scandinavian Airlines warned all of their users to stop using their mobile app, and their website was actually down. They advised that they were under an active cyber attack, and if you use the mobile app, you may receive incorrect data, including other users' information like contact details, previous or upcoming flights, and the last 4 digits of the credit card. Bleeping Computer has a nice article summarizing the attack, what SAS shared from their press releases, as well as who has taken credit for it. If you go out to the SAS website, the last update we've seen is from February 15th, so it's about a week old now, and there really isn't a lot of information yet, except that they're going to comply with the investigation that occurs. I originally came across the article from Simply Flying, and near the end of that article, they walk us through a number of issues happening to the airline industry today, including attacks last year against India's Go First airline, issues that Portugal had with a data breach, various cyber attacks against US airports at the end of last year, and then all the way back to 2018 with a large Cathay Pacific breach that impacted 9.4 million passengers and resulted in a £500,000 fine. For folks in the US, of course, I'm sure nobody forgets the recent outages with the FAA's NOTAM system, as well as Southwest Airlines having IT systems problems over the holidays. Mobile apps are increasingly the way that users interact with brands, and it's really important that we start investing in both security and privacy of mobile apps. In January 2023, the California Attorney General announced an enforcement focus on mobile apps. Several years ago, California passed the California Consumer Privacy Act, or CCPA, and there are broad provisions that impact not just websites, but also mobile apps. If you take a look at the press release, you'll see that they actually announced an enforcement against Sephora. In that enforcement action, Sephora was fined $1.2 million and forced to comply with the CCPA, as well as provide regular reporting to the Attorney General. This is similar to an emerging trend we're seeing at the federal level, where the FTC is holding companies accountable for privacy violations. For example, in February this year, GoodRx was fined $1.5 million for failing to disclose how they shared health data with companies like Facebook, Google, and other ad targeting companies. If you're interested in this topic, NowSecure has a mobile app security and privacy breach tracker, and you can see all the latest breach information. On a privacy level standpoint, while there's no policies in place at a federal level, there is a state-by-state privacy tracker run by IIAP, and I linked to that so you can see exactly what's going on at a state-by-state level. And if you're a mobile app developer, you really need to start thinking about adding privacy labels to your iOS apps and data safety labels to your Android apps. My friend Sebas runs a curated weekly summary of security and other issues in his Security Pills newsletter. You can check him out on Twitter at 0xroot, or go out to newsletter.securitypills.news, and you can sign up or just review all of his updates online. In his issue 27, he actually linked out to an article about reverse engineering TikTok's virtual machine obfuscation. Now, this is a really technical article, and unless you have a technical background, a lot of this probably won't be super interesting. But the author points out how ByteDance, the parent company of TikTok, spied on multiple Forbes journalists using TikTok, and goes through a pretty good summary of not only what data is collected, but how that information is collected and obfuscated. This is, of course, a really important topic, and we've seen a lot of discussion and activity at both the federal and state level, culminating with President Biden signing a TikTok ban on government devices in 2022. You can see the full details of that particular ban in this NBC News article I linked to. And you can get a more forward-looking view of what's next by taking a look at the article from the Council on Foreign Relations. I also linked to the 2019 article from The Guardian on how TikTok can censor videos. And those videos may be ones that the Chinese government doesn't like, or perhaps videos that they want to control during a US election to influence how TikTok users think about a particular topic. I think you're going to see a lot more in 2023 about TikTok and privacy in general. If you want to check out any of the sources I linked to, just go to my personal website, andrewhogue.com. Until next time.